A very good afternoon to all our viewers and welcome to your lunchtime news coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I'm Joel Outschool. Let's first take a look at what's making headlines this afternoon. Elections Commissioner makes inquiries into payments made for SLTP buses taken to the Anuradhapura rally. Vandals set fire to a stage set up for a Maithripala Sirisena campaign rally in Vulnerable Galle. 5 suspects arrested in connection with an attack on a UMP rally in Galnava. And in sports news, Alistair Cook mulls over the future as England's ODI captain. Let's take a look at the stories in detail. The Elections Commissioner has heeded special attention to charges that were levelled, citing that a number of buses from the Sri Lanka Transport Board were being employed for a rally that was organised in lieu of the upcoming presidential elections.
When inquiries were made with regard to this matter, Minister of Transport Kumar Velgamma said that buses could be used on purchase. He added that anyone could be benefited through this. However, Elections Commissioner Mahinda Deshapriya has informed the Minister of Transport to submit the receipts indicating that the relevant buses were reserved over a financial payment. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Transport Board says that the documents regarding the relevant buses are currently being prepared. Speaking to Newsfirst, Chairman of the Board, Shashi Velgamma, said that upon the request made by the Elections Commissioner, the documents will be submitted to him within the course of the day. He added that buses allocated for carrying school children were not used for a political rally in Anuradhapura.
Well, the stage which was to host a rally of common opposition candidate Maithripala Sirisena in Vulnerable Galle has been set alight by an unidentified group. Police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rona noted that a vehicle was also set on fire. He added that the incident took place at around 6 this morning. The police media spokesperson went on to note that investigations have commenced into the incident. Meanwhile, a group of persons have damaged a number of vehicles that were parked close to a UMP meeting in Galnava. Police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rona notes that 5 persons have been taken into custody in connection to the incident. It was reported that the group had also fired shots into the air.
As soon as the vote of thanks was delivered, a friend known to us arrived at the location. He said there was a group of persons who arrived at the other end in around 7-8 vehicles with firearms in their possession. They told us to evacuate as soon as possible. We attempted to evacuate. We noticed that a few vehicles were lined up at the meeting site. The group were armed. Thereafter, we rushed away from the scene.
Transparency International says that the number of instances where public property has been misused for campaigning and propaganda purposes is on the rise ahead of the presidential election. Director of Transparency International, Attorney at Law S. Ranunge notes that there is a direct support from senior officials of certain state institutions for this program. He noted that the Elections Commissioner has been made aware of this situation. The Director of Transparency International notes that by these actions, it has caused state institutions to incur losses. He added that immediate steps should be taken to rectify the situation. Meanwhile, a total of 76 complaints have been lodged with the Election Secretariat pertaining to the misuse of state property and the use of public sector officials for political purposes. The complaints unit at the Secretariat adds that 29 incidents relating to the transfers of state sector officials and 32 incidents relating to promotions and transits have been lodged as well. The Election Secretariat adds that all sectors have been informed in this regard. In the meantime, the calling for applications for those voters who require assistance to exercise their franchise at the forthcoming presidential election has commenced. The Election Secretariat notes that these applications will primarily focus on visually impaired and physically handicapped. The Election Secretariat also notes that applications should be handed over to the relevant district returning officers before the 31st of December. The Secretariat adds that those accompanying a voter who requires assistance should be above 18 years of age and should not be a representative of any political party. A certificate from a doctor confirming an applicant's medical condition should be produced when submitting the application. Well, now with the presidential elections drawing closer, the political stage is heating up. Here's a look at some of the views expressed on the political stage.
After 12 years, which is after 2002, I must clearly state that a UNP government will come into power. This is a cycle which happens every 12 years. Even if we are pressurized, despite the corruption which is taking place during this election period, the aspiration of the public cannot be stopped. Any character can be sold, but there are certain characters that cannot be sold. We have a charismatic leader. They are attempting to use his stage to send out a wrong message to the public. Therefore, what is the issue they have with Mahinda Rajapaksa? The problem that they are faced with is that he has a character that cannot be defeated. There is a small rumor that the Uva Provincial Council is going to be defeated. I spoke to a provincial council member who is said to be attempting to cross over to find out if this is true or not. He said that he has still not reached a decision. I asked him why. Top businessmen sell their shares in the stock market. The biggest stock exchange in Colombo is within the temple trees. The JVP is saying that the goods in Mahinda stores are old, while the goods at Sirisena stores cannot be trusted. The JVP shop is closed. The JVP wants to destabilize the country instead of unifying it. Sirisena has got caught to this.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa says he would build houses for people who are residing in huts. President Mahinda Rajapaksa made this statement at a meeting held in Pamankadi yesterday. I wish to state that we built houses in the Mayura area. We didn't relocate them. We stationed them in the same place as they were. But rumors are being spread that we have sent them to Avisavella, and Muslims are told that they will be relocated to Ampara, while the Tamils were told that they will be sent to Jaffna and that they will be chased away from Colombo. During my tenure as president, huts were destroyed and better houses were given to them. Buildings here will change and new buildings will be constructed. When a country and a society is being developed, others will have to adapt to that. We need to build a future for that. I request you to fulfill your responsibility on the 8th to create a safer Sri Lanka in order to have a better future for your children. Opposition political representatives, including New Democratic Front presidential candidate Maithripala Sirisena, expressed these views at a rally held in Alawa yesterday.
We have come here to win and not to turn back. We are not here to replace Mahinda with Maitri. We are here to replace the entire system, to change the political culture. We will develop the country at 1/3 the cost. What they are doing is not politics. They are drunk with money. They think everyone can be bought for money. No matter what they do with their money, the people are prepared. The people know that change is at hand. They are trying to stop this change with money. The president of the country comes and sits with the provincial councillors. Why? To stop those who are trying to leave. How many MPs are working for them now? They are not working. How many ministers? They are not working either. The mask of this false dictator will be removed on the 8th. You do not become a patriot just because you beat your chest and kiss the ground at various places. When the tsunami came, 40,000 lives were lost in the country. The entire nation was in tears. Is the person who stole tsunami aid at that time a patriot or a traitor? Today you are afraid to speak your mind and criticize the government. Your rights have been deprived. A leader who has harassed the people in this way will never fulfill his duties to the people. This is the situation in the country. We must rescue it.
අද රටට අත්දලා තියෙන තත්ත්වය මේකයි. ඒක හන්ද අපි මේ තත්ත්වයෙන් මේ රට මුදා ගන්න ඕනේ. එයාට රටේ පිට වෙන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ කිව්වලු.
He says we will not let him leave the country and that he will die on this land. I did not mention his name or his position. I said I would catch the fraudsters, the thieves and the corrupt and corner them. Why has he put on this hat? I suppose if the hat fits, you can wear it. My children, this is not a personal vendetta. This is a matter of principle. It is a matter concerning the future of the entire nation. It is a matter concerning democracy and the freedom of the people. On the 8th of January, we will form a new government, and that is certain.
ජනවාරි 8 වෙනිදා මේ රටේ අලුත් ආණ්ඩුවක් හදනවාමයි කියන එක සමුන්නාස්ලට ඉතාම පැහැදිලිවම කියන්න ඕනේ.
In some weather news, according to the Met Department, showers can be expected in several parts of the island, including the northeastern part, due to the atmospheric disturbance. Meanwhile, 8 reservoirs in the Anuradhapura district have overflowed due to heavy rains.
2 spill gates in Makandurava Reservoir in the Anuradhapura district was opened by 2 feet each due to heavy rains experienced in the area. According to our reporter, 2 spill gates of 6 in Nachadua Reservoir have been opened by 2 feet each. Tisa Wever and Basavakulama Wever are also overflowing due to heavy rain. Our correspondent noted that water is being released from the spill gates in close proximity to the Mathali junction due to the increase in the water levels of Nuvaravava Reservoir. Our report added the rainfall in Anuradhapura, which started yesterday, continued till this morning.
Health Minister Tisa Tanayaka, who took oaths recently, assumed duties today. He assumed duties at the Ministry of Health at South Siripura. Two people were killed when the motorcycle they were travelling on crashed onto a tree near the Athala Weir in Kebidigolava. The deceased were 2 males aged 28 years old. In some sports news, Alastair Cook says he has to wait and see if he is to remain as England's one-day captain and that he can have no complaints if he is stood down. Sri Lanka completed a 5-2 series win over England on Tuesday, the 4th one-day series loss in a row under Cook's leadership.
Well, I think we'll find out in a couple of days' time whether I will be doing that. Obviously, a selection meeting. I think we can surprise people. We're going to have to play better than we have done here. We've got a huge amount of talent in the squad, and I think we've made some good strides in certain areas on this tour. We've worked incredibly hard. There's no reason why we can't in better conditions for us. We're just going to have to play better than we did do today. To be honest with you, I haven't given it too much thought, because if the decision went that way, then I can't do much about it. I haven't scored the runs I would like to have scored, and we haven't won the number of games I would like to have won. So if it happens, I can have no complaints.
Well, to keep yourself up to date on the very latest news, simply log into our website www.newsfirst.lk. On that note, we wrap up lunchtime news. For the news team, I'm Joel Outskoon. Have yourself a great afternoon ahead.
Hotline 0114 896 896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.